enyigo diechigari HK Pharmaceutical Center obo bwenya oraigene
Etaya TV Oborabu Wagusi.
Oya sana mwanchomo ligerelia chinsa cha chiragusu lakini nende na ilibuna timu ngimaita TV alamana kwa sema ya transmission nsio braibwa ruta loda nigo ya bikirimbero bilio kone kianga gatogo chembeo nigo togo chabuya tutabwati bako ponde wansi wa mangana ringete mitambo lakini nende kongole sana Ruth singincho yokone kianga gatoko ndembeo tunakuja vizuri kama no mwanchomo ligerelia no nyuko nyoru kwa biraroro na ilibuna wiki ntimbia aligeriliwa elio kone kianga katogo cha sole gotogo cha loud and clear but mimi walo mwanchomo ligerelia na mange nyereko baga kone kiwa yesa no na makwelia ye yo kabeire mo prime minister na boy gomora be kama kia ODM Raila Amolo Odinga manga gende baga kone kiwa sensemo imitandao chingaki nene mono igati ye chinkwana chiabarai chinde chalokanire korenta okoge chia sensemo imitandao na koirere gati yabarai koireneria na boiga wa Kenya kwa jumla kutwara majibu yoko ena na sisemi mitandao nigongo kwanera anamone Kwana yae mo governor bwe county ya Nyeri Mtai Kahiga oyo nyarateko gakorwa chinkwana cyo icharagoteba una makwelia ya Raila Amolo Odinga kolengana nere it is an answered prayer yani ngana masabo anyareko bakawikirana ukarari gukwanira igoronga mageka use under protest government nigo insio braibwa ya William Samoei Ruto na boigo Raila Amolo Odinga nga magendra nyako bakakole kiwa senseme yemo obano mwachumuliria nengana ya rentiro kogechia kegima asabarai na boigo aba Kenya kwa jumla tutali kobaeba kegima na gochakira abaraibe kiama kia ODM kati yabo no mugabana bwe county ya Kisii Paul Simbarati tutararigeria chinkwana chia chinkwana chia barai abakwane nyumba chumuraria Kwana yayo mugabana Paul Simbarati mugabana bwe county ya Kisii ngankira nyesome Diana manyago chasore niyagotabona as the deputy party leader of ODM I take this matter with the utmost seriousness. I demand that Governor Kahiga retracts his statements and issues sincere apology not only to the family of Baba Raila but also to the millions who loved and respected him. Silence or inaction in the face of such hatred only emboldens division. Yo Kwana yaye mu governor we county ya Kisii Paul Simbarati mambia lero Diana no nyamagiga ye kiama kia ODM isobora ibwa ye Gladys Wanga no munyakirogo nigatia baraibande bakora batwalege Kwana kuchasi nyumba choboraria sensemo ya Kisumu elio kwirani gati ya Chinkwana chiaye mu governor Mtai Kahiga gati yabo ne Kwana yo yari kugania nga isiko kurwase ekiombe kia governor ekiobo igo kamenyeka na Council of Governors kiagarase kiombe kyo nigo abeira rubuna omokonyi omunyakiro
Woigo ntwarana nere maiga ya Council of Governors mutwarige ikarona bego no Kwana uchiase abananchi nere nabakago soka osebwe sokya nabo igona gusaba okwabera uchiase amate ya Raila Amolo Odinga nabo igona Jaramogi Oginga Odinga boigo obakawetigia emirimo na omonyakirego ase kyombe kyo kya bagabana gose Council of Governors kulende twarora baraya bange by the way banya ko bawe sokya nabo igona ko bago saba okwabera kugwa na the Council of Governors oyole was the chairperson Council of Governors oyokoro kuna Ahmed Abdullahi nere nabaga gakolikana gotebuna the Council of Governors extends its apology to the family of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga on behalf of the 47 county governments following the unfortunate remarks of Governor Kahiga Mutai nabo igona roraga spokesperson as the government ya Kenya nere na oyokoro kwa una Isaac Mwaura nere nabaka gukwanira igoro yelinganeliga na kugikiria agoteba na Mutai Kahiga your statement on the death of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is rather unpatriotic and nationalistic and unfortunate. The president has balanced out development across all the 47 counties of Kenya. Such utterances risk alienating certain regions from the rest of the country. Esenye tutese kolege libuja ekere Mutai abetega ko Kwana mangana ya igabe aletribirira ase ensengima ekeralinga se egati amatanga achinsemo chiria chia Nyeri grabete ka Kwana anda ke kolengane chinkwana cha wisikuliye ibuya anda ke igamine tirenda abantu bali ba mulima Kenya Rwanda ke batwalire bona yani omugoko norororo mangana ya broad based government nara lete abantu abamu nduma isikunyura buya Raila Amolo Odinga nerogerete nabantu bagacha mukulende bona era bona aminete maybe chi community ekigabona cha letre uko bagekana yani gona tote abantu bali ba mulima Kenya nabe chi community bune chiga cyabagere kulende na yoga Isaac Mwaura igatebana omurai bwenze William Samuel Ruto ero kolira magenderero ase chi county chonsi emerongene na isano na ibire igona amangana yogo seberekani county ye mugose yende usoko bagana ayuaro tayo ase serikali yiga ya Kenya Kwanza nabondo ndochina amineti ngana boy gondo chega iga omuwaziri asense medio bulimi okorokwa una Mutai Kagwe maite Kahiga na Kawe muntu atabetikina bokonya gwakwande amangana alengeto muntu mungao nera ndo chega na bakawe soki oterebuna on Governor Kahiga he is speaking on his own behalf have represented the people of Nyeri and we are mourning with the rest of Kenya. Raila was loved in Nyeri. It is culturally repugnant to speak on someone's death, especially for the Agikuyu. But then no Muikuyu. One Kwana on behalf and tena Raila Amolo Odinga zanjete abantu bechinse mu kirecha Nyeri. Tabwate oboinchi. Tabwate na tribe ye mawose sakweke mona kianchite. Iganchite aba Kenya bonsi. Abanga tiabarai ko wachinse mu au asense ya Kenya au bagandete ko bagusaba ukwabera on behalf of chinse abantu bechinse mu kirecha county ya Nyeri wose mu kirecha Central linde na bamanye na oyo Kahiga iga abakago Kwana mangana ya erebweka ko wasumunoye tali associated n'abantu bande ase ensemelia ya mulima Kenya kulende amangana ya igabete kago Kwana na mangana aramalito sana inde tinkageretina ni chebe no muntu bwate umubiso tinkageretina mangana buna ya igana mangana mayogo ntoko bako Kwana usiko chengera muntu ndobwensi yobereka gusiri bugima bwaye nabonekera asirire nabona no mugoko uchi ase maybe amateya mose yende ndari tusamangana na mayalenge. That's why abantu abanga baraya bange besokire nakogikeria chinkwane echi abeteka Kwana ubwamane nda kwanite yararasa matanga. So I just wonder the kind of leaders buna abayigato bwate kole naro abantu abange paka bawotena bayabone se ikere na aba impeach timbu ya neba unyalo ko baga kwetigemeremo kuna omokonyi bo nyakero go as Council of Governors governors na kuisiko kabisa irabe buyesenge inchu ndo china seneringana dirigi yakima kwaragali the secretary general Edwin Sifuna abo yoro mo senator ase county area ya Nairobi na bakago kwana otebuna omora Raila Amolo Odinga niganje tomolembe na ine yale ko bano ale mo yale ero na murangiri amote inchu turagere turi lunch which means no muntu bwanje tomolembe no muntu bwanje te abantu bonse kulende ana mangana makongu sana inde na tutanche nende tukogikere no intugeyana tabuenete gukwana mangana buna yayiga ekere kobwa munona oyo yiga olete ta mangana devolution ayino mutayo yiga bweka boseka higo yebweka agende to kobaga kogokera no mu governor onyeri oyo gerete Raila Amolo Odinga nero eta mangana ya devolution nero eta mangana ya democracy wono nkumetina ekrabete ka ukwana mangana ya tikumana na alenge into correct o se right senses kunena mangana makongo sana yagi keiri bobe amangana makongo sana tante korora korwase umurayo ndebwense senga njense ite ya Kenya mangana buna yayiga na rakoleta abantu banyako bako seberekana ubwamo bwanyara kwa bukobora no molembe nintu nsibuna ya ense ite ya Kenya ni tutageta omulembe ase ensengima nabo ibana sebisa kubyonse
uya sana dayana yo kagendrete bono kinga kibari gokwana nababike mangana nigo nimono bakuragwa na chairperson Gladys Wanga nigati abaraibande kurwa seseme ya Kisumu abaraiba ODM nigo baye ko bagotebuna mangana ye kolengana bunare na bwat links na yo kabiro mo deputy president wense ya Kenya Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua na kupatikana na hiyo niko bona igati ya barabike mike ODM aramara krosorongo rwabokere gusema Nyanza chiseme chichalu Nyanza at large niko barikandire bagote abuna no nyene merurio elia Rigathi Gachagua bwate cyo bo visit enkaya Raila Amolo Odinga after his burial tabasa gwa attempt kokore gento bunekyo ekiagara already okolire mokari wetra se ally ya very close ally also monto kumubwate siasa mangana siasa o nyara ko baka go kwana mangana mabe gento kakote bakaramuna chikone chikanchiri related ya monera of which we don't want to ascertain ngana bere iho bata mangana siasa aruna makong na I want to believe abana siasa mbabanya ine sana in politics you never know what happens but riende twariraria gati yo morayo yo mona imukala taguna emerobiria Gachagua bwa tukutarira enkaya Raila Amolo Odinga na ko yapole karanchi kabuza korolekana bono negasira basoko and it is with bitterness by the way kagara Raila Amolo Odinga obeire umurayo twense and President William Ruto by the way mentioned it in broad daylight abanta bange bagatagitira ila atukutu normal but he gave him a decent send of Kiagara. Yes, he was not the president, but he was the president of the people. Igo negento kya rorekanire kogechi abanta bange na saba Kenya sense bo mitandao uko na kisebo cha TikTok, Instagram, Twitter kera sensemo tusori kubatiga magega abara ikorose ikiama kya ODM na from Luo Nyanza nigo bagote abuna nkira yonde mtaikaiga arego kwana mangana yaiga nabwo atomosisimuko gete timati usugwarire clip ekyo no nichekera nakiroche yata sam go chang na changa mugete and sakasakare ngande and for real na abantura muntu nataka kumwegeranga akamine tigo igamine tijira na bego konga because of the way asisi mugeta changa mugete kabisa kaoya kwana manganaria na kono nindo chaiga na gotebiringa Gladys Wanga yani gotebuna we know Governor Kahiga doesn't speak for himself. He is a spokesperson of Rigathi Gachagua. Na bate abalinga bono ODM as a party yabekire line. Yabekire line na ondebwensi okoba related na either Kaiga Gachagua or he is not a friend to the ODM members. Na date banga either you are in or out of ODM. Provided you are linked, osani bwa gombo related na Gachagua na Kaiga, automatically they have drawn that line. Igo no koro kianga yana no ko gachiwo ko nande ay kaga ndeteka to ko to nda system ya kuri studio bono tonyole chinkwana chiga tiabara ya baiga utrase cyo kwa ni nyumba choraria ay kaga ndete nyuranga no nyem ne chinga chama shuja bado murabensi ya Kenya na batebetenga wiki ngima aya na nete yokumurira Raila Odinga no nyemagiga yoko enigo kwae tira ikomwelio igo the week still is on abantu bonse bakenya bonse baraibosi baboteli baga yokumurira Raila tali tuwe kwa ruchino na sasa ya pondo bado kitabaye kia kago kango kajira mogi bada abantu bagerete ko nda sese media singin choko motalira na konwa engora uchasi amate yaye Raila Odinga
lakini kolende na temete ko bagin lia barai au batia the deputy president kidure kindiki amana barai banda bange amusale mudavadi babete bakolika sirit kolego rasepta ebitao bya basityo bisyabo bagote abuna amatukali atano na bere ayirire igora abete bakorera lakini neba nabo abantu bado bagente ko bawe sokia kogenda senka ya umete biria magombale ekera amatuka gake at least nabyo konya umuntu chakire no kora mukikorora bonekero ko ira magomba ali at least nali agokora byo kubwa litukuliria litukulio konya nabantu barabange no nereta oranyo somehow umuntu ari confused na we tabanya ko bagakorora kulende naboni bado abantu abange by the paka ba Kenya naruchiga ya sense bemitanda abange sana babire bakogenda kinse mu kiri kya bondo indo kogenda ko mwa esiko na kumulera na kuleresia familia ya Raila Odinga ibere egasingia na indena obuna bwobomo no bwanchani kulia aba Kenya baganete kuralia na korokia kubwa mono na guchase family ose amate ya Raila Odinga kwa sense mitandao search kwa enda sema ya kabere studio Nindo chega ya Jeria Kerubo agotena so true to the words of Kahiga, not good at all. May the legend continue resting in peace until the second coming of Jesus. Gondo chena nonya na baligere baito baruba ibure nde barode na amangana ya iga mangana Kahiga abete kago kwana tali mangana amaya tali mangana yoko kinonya ngake ko bwa mono na asomo nyangongo Raila Odinga yobwete ga kurwanirira ense ya Kenya abaitira makongu amange kegima kubekwe jera se myake yonsi etani myake tano nomo atigete idane familia egalia na senge ncho yogotema kwene kina omo Kenya gochigosiga iga tali gochiko bakago chandika alafu muntu amana wocha out of the fight ya Raila Odinga wikaboni gatogana tokoba to gucengera gusiboro bonse amana kulika mangana buna yamana ukwana mangana buna yaiga no chuwa apologize already ngwakwana mabia maji alisha yakimwagika kuzoleka nega siengo sana na mangana makongo sana neba bwetigirie meremo lakini bado onyalo kwa babono ni kama ameongeza tena msiba mwingine yani ni kama amento mono uchia saba Kenya au bado bagende kwa bakumulira Raila Odinga na mangana makongo sana bagende ko gikiri ne ntimanye tinana kira chakolo uchigosiga iga neche mobere getiro sana senjo na bulalitwa kwa na mangana impeachment na araba chake tena na aba impeached na ragali na narengo mwalimu batete kwanda sesemeli ya TSC bamurusi na nkuru waroropi bona mbatageti aba associated na kende gyonsi ibana mangana ya iga na mangana makongo sana arachiko baga ko mu coast na nere ase obugima bwayi
anamona samangana lengite siasa ya igono mocho muligeria nigo twari ko tema kuligeria gatie chujumu kya barai kotekana na mangana ye mtai Kaiga ayo neko baka kunyoro kugikirigwo konena sese mu mitandao nanye kurwa sabarai aona coming from a leader ne na mangana taliamaya igobono nabona botambe dayana kwana turi botambe nga murai na bwana te ko refrain kurasi kinkwana kirare tokogechia ona yo negati ali mwancho bolire tukwaliganirite nigo tokwanda sesema ya kubye studio toye kamenyerero limo ryoka na hukomanye gati ya aria ne kinkwana ikiga cyabara yabato beto kwana go trance go kwa kinkwana ni kinyomba cyoboraria negati yekinkwani kirenge tunaona ko tigimirimo kwaye mtai Kahiga kabona mwachukulia sasa ya studio niko tokobwatana kabona yarali bagali kubeka ujumbe yago utirase namba yetu 0735333000 na bagasa sema mitandao Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok chingaki timu ngimeta TV sema transmission isio raibwaye Rutaluda kemu Maruth na bagasa sema digital Petra na bago Jackson chingake sema yechi camera Joseph Mokoti baragelio kona kyanga onsi gochara tsora senchira iwekera nche ni ngoro kwa Cyrus Azizi ninseri anedana kwambuka Gisoi. Wanchumu ligereria bono nigo togo chaka kegima na nemono namangana twaga kwaneire ayo alengete chikona chikatia barai na nigo togo chaka no roboti kurwase county ya Kisumu abo ase kiyoke makia ODM insubarai bwae Gladys Wanga buno munyakirogo kenya kwa kuro roboti kubatekana nechi Kwana chumugavana Onyeri mtai Kaiga Samatanga yamwe county yo ya Nyeri echo cyari getie hotabuna makweli ya Raila Amolo Odinga no kwirigwa kwigati ya masabo na kwenekia liberera sensemo yemitandao nikobone kyamekyo kya ODM nse barayibwaye Gladys Wanga buno ya kerobona barayibande bagikeire chinkwane cyo na kogania arusiwe limolyoka buna omokonyi bumonya kerogo azekyombe kyabagaba na gusikaso of governors sesema yakabye studio nigo tokomerana nechinkwane cyo cyabarayabo limolyoka.
And we'd like to make a statement on yesterday's very callous remarks by Governor of Nyeri, Mutahi Kahiga. We are still in very, very deep mourning of our leader, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and we have been forced out of mourning to come and address this matter. So yesterday's remarks by Governor of Nyeri County, Dr. Mutahi Kahiga, at a funeral in Kieni constituency in his county, appearing to celebrate the death of our party leader, the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, are not only nefarious, but unbelievable and utterly despicable from a man calling himself a leader. The late Raila Odinga put his life in the line to fight for the freedoms that Kenyans enjoy today, spending nights in detention and prison. To be among the gallant sons and daughters of the soil who championed the second liberation of our country and the selfless sacrifice for our nation is a clear indicator that he had the country's interests at heart. During his time, the late Odinga believed in a Kenya where everyone enjoyed the freedom of speech and democracy and fought for stronger devolution, equity and equality for all, regardless of where you come from, and a united Kenya. For someone of Governor Kahiga's caliber, who's a beneficiary of Raila's sweat, scars, and tears, to make such derogatory remarks of a man who spent most of his life fighting for change in this country is disgraceful and shameful. It is worth noting that the entire Western Kenya region that he decries of benefiting from government resources and development has nothing compared to what his region has benefited from since Kenya became independent. It is bad manners, uncouth, and unacceptable for Mr. Kahiga to make such remarks. In fact, coming from someone who occupies a respectable position of the Vice Chairman of the Council of Governors, it is utterly absurd and astonishing. We therefore demand that he immediately resigns from this position with immediate effect, and the COG cannot have a loose-mouthed, reckless, primitive and irresponsible person holding such a position. He's a disgrace to the country and to the people of Nyeri County. And I would like to add that the very, very position that Kahiga holds as governor of Nyeri is a creation of the fight of Raila Amolo Odinga. And we know that there is politicians like Kahiga who in the life of Raila Amolo Odinga have used him as a bogeyman to scale their own political heights there. But it is shocking that they continue to make Raila a bogeyman. in his death. And what I know is that Kahiga does not speak for himself. Kahiga is the spokesperson of Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua mocked Raila's illness and asked whether he was a virus and whether Kalonzo was a bacteria. To date, Rigathi Gachagua is yet to mourn Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga, who braved political tensions to go and mourn his brother, the late Nderitu Gachagua. And therefore, we note now that anyone who associates with Gachagua and his ilk, like Kahiga, cannot be our friend. The line is drawn. Any person who associates with Gachagua, Kahiga, they cannot be our friends. Whether they are in our party or outside our party. Kahiga has drawn the line. To mock, he has crossed the Rubicon. We have crossed that line now. To mock Raila Odinga in his death, to mock him in his life, we could respond. But to mock him in his death, any person who associates with Gachagua, with Kahiga, with that lot, can never, ever be our friend. Because the principle is, the enemy, the friend of your enemy is your enemy. This morning at 9 o'clock, we have a meeting of the Council of Governors. And I, as the chairperson of the party, will be moving a motion to remove Kahiga as the vice chairman of the Council of Governors. He can lead in his village, but he cannot lead us at a national level. I want to ask my colleagues, Anthony and Jared, and the leadership of the Assembly, if they have something to add.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are shocked beyond words by the reckless statements as advanced by Kahiga. We all know that he revels in death because he's a beneficiary of death. Without the death of Dr. Gakuru, Kahiga would be nobody and would be nothing. So anything touching on death, he seems to take great pleasure out of. But as a community, we just want to remind him, because his memory is so short, that we have been out of government since time immemorial, but we've always been here. The only government that has given us full recognition is this of President William Samoei Ruto. And as my chair has ably said, the line has been drawn. We will not seek any friendship with Gachagua and his surrogates, because again, we are privy to a meeting that was held yesterday between Gachagua, Kahiga, and some of their ilk that came up with the deliberations to have that statement made as it was. As a community, we have absolutely no problem with our Kikuyu brothers and sisters. We marry them, we work with them, we associate with them. We've got friends all across the Mount Kenya region. But Kahiga and Gachagua, as we go into our next elections, Baba put us into this government, and we have to make that very clear. And this government, we shall stay. Anybody harboring any ambition of approaching us, time is long gone. We are not ready for any further association, any further negotiation, but with this government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to join my friends in condemning the words of Governor Kahiga as primitive and uncalled for. You will recall that Gachagua, and I agree with our governor here when he says that the owner of this dog, and permit me for using that word, is Rigathi Gachagua himself. So we must place this filth at the doorsteps of Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. You will recall that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, during the time that he was deputy president, made it his sole purpose to pursue Raila Odinga, saying that he would encircle State House and make sure that Raila does not step into State House. He has continued to pursue Raila in his death. This we will not accept. We will not accept this because Governor Rigathi Gachagua himself was a beneficiary. The Constitution 2010, in which he stepped in as deputy president, was as a result of the sweat and blood of Raila Amolo Odinga. Same to the governor of Nyeri County. So we are saying here today that the president and the people of Nyanza should be proud. They should not be made to feel ashamed for any affirmative action that is extended to the people of any region. The people of a particular region who have benefited over the years as a result of skewed application of resources should allow the Constitution, which is under Article 10, to benefit and to be equalized. These are principles, foundational principles under the Constitution. They talk about the question of equity, they talk about the question of equalization and affirmative action. So whatever it is that the people of this region and the people of any other region benefit from as a result of trying to be equalized is not something that people should be ashamed of. And to use this to try to mock a person who has suffered for this country at a time that he has died is extreme. We condemn it in the strongest possible terms.
I want to associate myself completely with the remarks that were made. I want to condemn in the strongest terms possible the reckless statement by Governor Kahiga. And I want to say that not even the words alone, but the people who are supporting Kahiga and his team, clapping and cheering on his statements, that is very reckless. I want to say that I want to associate this one to somebody who talked about a farmer who died, and the baboons and the monkeys were clapping and cheering that finally the person who had been chasing us away from the farm is dead. Please, watch your statements. Very soon you will understand that the same farmer that you are cheering that is dead is the person who prepared or planted the crops that you are going to benefit from. Kahiga, you are a beneficiary of devolution. And not a single Kenyan do not understand that the pioneer of devolution is Raila Amolo Odinga. So you should be the last person to be happy or to cheer when we have lost Raila Amolo Odinga, who is the father of devolution. I call upon our friends in Mount Kenya, please, desist from associating yourselves with the likes of Gachagua and the likes of Kahiga. You are going to be misled. You are going to be misled, and I want to stand with our chairperson that we call upon the Council of Governors that please support that motion. Support that motion. We do not want Kahiga to be the deputy vice chair of the Council of Governors. You cannot be misleading the country and still you purport to be leading us in the Council of Governors.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency and members of the press. As the chair of ODM as the vice chair of ODM in this region, I want to associate my sentiments with the statements made by my chair, Governor Gladys Wanga, and the colleagues, members of parliament. I want to say that as ODM members in this region, we want to urge our members to stay calm as we approach this issue in a sober mind. We heard yesterday that Gachagua and his team were supposed to pay homage to the home of Raila Amolo Odinga. We urge Gachagua, never, don't step in Bondo. Don't step in Bondo, as your statements are not very, very friendly to us as ODM. Otherwise, I urge our members to stay calm as we approach this issue in a sober mind. Otherwise, thank you and thank you very much.
Tinga kiechio nigo omugabano yo nere mutayika igabwe county yo ya Nyeri airire libagali gusaba amabera na wetigia emeremo buna omokonyi bumunyakirogo ase kyombekyo kyaba governor wose Council of Governors. Sasa mo itu akabere studio no roboti ruwaye mutayika iga.
Fellow Kenyans, I want to take this moment to address issues that have emanated from a vernacular clip that is circulating in social media. From the very onset, I want to sincerely apologize to our mourning nation To the family of the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Mama Aida, her children Rosemary Jr. and Winnie, Honorable Senator Oburu Odinga and Honorable MP Ruth Odinga, and other siblings and their larger extended family, the ODM fraternity, and the Luo nation and Kenyans at large. And to my colleague leaders from all sides of the political divide for any harm that it has elicited. The clip was taken while attending a burial in my home village, and my remarks were in no way celebratory. What I meant is that under the current broad-based government, we have seen skewed development and politically the loss of the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Odinga sent everyone back to the drawing board. As the popular saying goes, God takes the best, and it is in this context that I made those remarks in vernacular. Let me also make it clear that the remarks I made are my personal views and therefore should in no way be associated with the community's position or any political affiliation, nor the Council of Governors. Finally, in noting the huge public interest that this issue has generated, I am taking responsibility of the real and perceived meaning of my remarks, and as a result, therefore, I have decided that with immediate effect, I am going to step down as the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors. And as I do that, I also pray that the soul of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga continue resting in eternal peace. God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.
Suka msimo nchomo ligerelia mo seneta bwe county ya Nyamira mo commissioner Okongo Mugeni nigo agikeirie serikali ya Kenya Kwanza ase ugo taikirani mirobilio ya ye boikeranu ka Kwana ime ye wodi ya Bosamaro Samatanga igo aganirie serikali kugikeria omuremi na nigo boiko aganirie serikali kugikeria obugwenia anira mono murobilio osha ase boiko agikeire murobilio wechinyomba kia rigoriria inse ose affordable housing sasa bakare studio nigo toko mo tekerera omo senator ke county Nyamira Okongo Mugeni
director esa magana yechai na to goja to ba ke biranya njo monto manyetora dui omugusi ne president ya nyano goro William Samoei Ruto ekera ira to president monyolete ga tetanga nikichukua Biblia niweke chini mkulima atakuwa na pesa wapi mfukoni takuwa nataka vile ero monyene lakini wona iga nero gotususura mono lichi goliria munya derege na bako batenga lichi goliria nyorete lia munya lia begete li golirie chae ngandi gunse wetani eji dora ibe egende gatanga ni akorete no koliru okoliru o mane gatwa derege o mondo wachenjiri chike na tuanje na bale mintu o ino mondo tatu anje e bona asia nyorete to koliera 40 wono gatore terete baka 13 kakino ine kabichi nere chiro le squeeze ko ni gusiringi 10 wona no gole siringi 10 ocha bantu barage ili botambe nga mheshimiwa bantu bane county eli ngori president ko Nyamira bantu bane ngolere diga iga mukyoko boko igoro obwate siringi chimilioni sanemo ogochikogore nyomba ruta agachire korobere town mukyoko boko igoro muntu naro Ruto tabugati yani a connection no mwananchi amenya tamare igoro abananchi tomenya tensa otoko matenge gento mwananchi atagete mwaka ne bona asiaye boronge akanyomba kalia bwata ka Nyamira akarosi kabaka akai gosonye go tagete korusi nyomba chiri chimbe chibese chiri oli okotona chachia housing inchuga igatoko balere chinyomba chiri chibona to improve bwagache chikine igoro lioli Nyamira etakoraki ms lakini ngoja kunganye igotanga kwabekere chikoroba Kisumu kwabekire chinde Nairobi nabantu banganye bachioro bantabu mbai orojo monto gaki monya beronya inkoineredi omonto gochonyoranga NHIF gero omonto chandete agwaka na shilingi 500 kiromo tieni ogenda nyagitari okoraki orwali omanya batanga bakenya bwate chibesa chinyinge na harusi yende kyomotieni bona ngobeko mwako mogima mbale chingo ko babwate chimboli mbege zingeri busaba wakano mwako mogima chibesa chimo bwata gaki wewe umeleta hii system inaitwa SHA na mimi siongee uongo kwa sababu naongea mbele ya wananchi wa county ya Nyamira Sasa hivi niko constituency ya West Mugirango, polling station ya Enchoro. Kweli si kweli? Na wananchi wenyewe wanalalamika kwamba hii kitu umeleta inaitwa SHA. Hawana hiyo pesa, unataka walipe mwaka mzima. Kweli rongo? Na wewe ulipochukua hatamu ya uongozi ulipata wananchi wakilipa shilingi 500. Lakini sasa unabadilisha, unasema walipe mwaka mzima shilingi 6,700. Hiyo ni mtu unataka kuua watu wetu. Sina mnaiwa wananchi wangu. Wewe huwezi kuwa na huruma. Ulituambia ukichukua serikali utashughulikia wale watu wenye wako wengo ya chini. Na unajua wakulima wa Nyamira sisi ile kitu tunategemea ni majani chai. Sisi hatuna maneno unatuambia ya miwa, mahindi na nini. Umechukua pesa, hatuna shida, umepatia wakulima wa miwa. Lakini chai hujaweka hata shilingi. Si huyo ni mtu anataka kumaliza sisi? Na sisi tunakuambia tunakuangalia kutoka 18. Ukitutesa wewe pia tutakutesa kwa debe. Ile kitu tutakumaliza nayo ni kura yetu kwa debe. Ndio maana tunakuambia kama utaendelea kutukunyanyasa, tunakuambia kutoka Nyamira wewe utafanya namna hiyo. Na sisi hatutaogopa. Na tuko na kijana yetu amesimama anatafuta kiti ya urais. Kweli ama rongo? Tuko na kijana yetu anaitwa Fred Okengo. Na yeye tunataka tumwambie, tafadhali Mheshimiwa Matiang'i, ukichukua uongozi vile Ruto alisema atikubeba Biblia, kitu ya kwanza rudisha ile kitu inaitwa NHIF, wananchi walipe shilingi 500. Namba 2, hii kitu tunaambiwa tutujengee manyumba kwenye town, ukiingia hivi hiyo kitu fanya nini? Ondoa. Tuko pamoja hapo? Tuko pamoja? Kwa hivyo huwezi kutuambia ati hawezi kusimamisha kijana yetu asimame urais. Alianza kupinga uhuru miaka 4 kabla ya uchaguzi. Kwa hivyo hata sisi tuko na haki ya kwanza kutafuta uongozi. Kwa hivyo tunakuambia 2027 uangalie debe kutoka Nyamira, mtu ni Fred Okengo. William Ruto ni asifanye nini? Asifanye nini? Na ile kitu inakupeleka nyumbani ni ile mateso umeleta kwa wananchi wa kawaida. Sasa hivi tuko na mwanafunzi hapa, ulisema ukichukua uongozi utaleta kusoma shule iwe free. Si huyu ni mwanafunzi tunachangia pesa hapa? Yeye kazi yake ni kutafuta wakubwa tu. Sasa ukisikia mkubwa amekufa tunaambiwa William Ruto ametuma milioni 2. Na hawa wenye wako hapa chini. Si atuwekee shule watoto wasome for free. Ndio tujue wewe ulikuwa unatuambia ukweli tunatetea hasira.
Wanchono yo no mo seneta bwe county ya Nyamira Commissioner Okongo omogeni oyo boliriana mo serikali ko barigeria abakenya na mo na county ya Nyamira na boigo kugania serikali ya William Samoei Ruto kurigeria umuremi na konekianga wakonyekare no muremi wakemeri gie chai buna kwa igure kwanire na boigo nigo aganire serikali kurigeria obubwenia anene mono murubirio osha na seboigo agikeirie murubirio w'ikinyomba kya rigorirense ose affordable housing wachuburira bana bwatikana nayo ngo togoikomo erio bigati yari twakwaligeniria semeza ya koneta na kugenda sesemo ya Kabri studio na kusaso mutimo kidogo kuya chito sasa kiduka turangana ria Ruth kemoma na Ruth anuda babwata sesemo yiyi kiduka na baga yabo mwachumo rigeria nigo Diana komboka Gisoi agochukomera na bageni baituri tukerigaria rero kingaki agochukwanira mangana schools closure na boigo the long holiday ono wachubuliria hakubatekana nayo nebiro nigo tokwenda sensemo ya Kabri studio turaso somotimoko kidogo tumanye kubwatana seke kiribosio na Diana komboka Gisoi na boigo abageni baita siri tukiriga rero.
Etaya TV, obora obu bwagusi.
Kenyan young people have what it takes.
Hii sio timu ile mchezo ya sarakasi.
Our healthcare system will now.
Wakaji wa sehemu hii
na mange agokorekana butuko namo baso kolinde ningokora gusego kwana kiriki harari lili nanaseki ili konyora machiwa yonsi asoime nabo yigo chinkwana chiemo asemo nabarai nabamanyi ao ligeli roboti rwa Jumatano era Jumatano chinsa ibere na inye cha mogoroba amona Joseph Mose jamanye asoboime.